That is reality dog training at its finest. We need to make sure that destructive chewing does not become a permanent thing. I'm Zach George, I'm a dog trainer. Meet my new project, Kona. I've got just 3 weeks to train her and set her up for the most well-behaved life possible. That means I need to work on the most common puppy issues like potty training, how to actually pay attention, stopping things like play biting, chewing, separation anxiety, getting along with other animals, leash walking, and teaching her everything a good dog needs to know. Real dog training doesn't always go smoothly, and that's why I'm going to show you every success and mistake and how I work through all the most challenging parts of raising a new puppy. Welcome to your new puppy survival guide. We've still got a lot of puppy problems to work on with this girl, Kona, but making sure that our dogs are having a great time is a huge part of training. If they feel good, they listen good. I understand it's a super chewer box, Kona, but they don't literally mean super chew the box. It does say let's chew it though, so I guess I can't blame her. We've got our bark box and we've got our super chewer box. Which dog will like which? Super chewer is cool because it has those really tough toys in it for dogs that are really hard on toys. Believe it or not, kind of like Kona. The theme this month is Home Alone. You definitely need help with that. This texture is extremely tough, but it has just enough give to keep many dogs interested. And look at that. Looks like you can put treats on the inside so that they're a little tough to get at, keeping your dog's interest. It's a gold tooth, you guys. That's funny. It squeaks, but you gotta step on it. That's how tough this toy is. I mean, that is solid. There you go. I knew she was gonna love that one. We also have some amazing treats. Let's see what's in the original bark box. How many different dog toys can you make from Home Alone? I mean, it's brilliant. Inertia loves plush toys like this, but look at the detail. I mean, these are some of the best quality dog toys you will ever find. We have the BarkBox version of the OK Plumbing and Heating Van. All of you are gonna get a free BarkBox by going to my special link, barkbox.com/dogtraining or superchewer.com/dogtraining. Link below. Okay, we got some puppy training to do. I've only got 2 more weeks with Kona, so I think it's time that we kick it into gear. Let's talk about destructive chewing. I mean, this is something that virtually everyone with a new puppy like Kona has to deal with. Last night when I was out of the room, Kona was hanging out with my wife, and I'll let you guys see what happened. It wasn't good.
Sitting here working on this footage, Zach has gone upstairs just to take a quick break, and I heard Inertia making a little noise like, hey mom, you might want to pay attention to what's happening. And then I looked over and I saw this one. What were you doing? Do you want to show me? Yep. Do you know that you can't chew on shoes, especially Zach's shoes? Do you know how much he likes them? Yes, Inertia, you distract her from that shoe. You know your daddy loves his shoes. Good job. Deal with you later.
You guys know I love my shoes. Speaking of which, what do you think of these? This is a crispy new pair of Air Force Ones, Atlanta edition, representing the hometown. I put these on today for some extra motivation to make sure that she doesn't chew my shoes. Anyway, we need to make sure that destructive chewing does not become a permanent thing with Kona. Preventing destructive chewing comes down to really managing your dog and make sure they don't have access to things like your couch cushion or furniture legs or your shoes. It's also important that you prevent roaming around the house like this. So do as I say, not as I do. That's why we have this present right here. So this is a 10-foot leash. It gives her a lot of room. See, this is why you don't do that. My bad. All right, that is our first potty accident in 3 days, or at least 2. 2 or 3 days.
They always happen while we're shooting, and why?
Because we get distracted and forget to let them out.
Yep.
Oh boy.
But at least we get them on video for you guys.
Yep, that is reality dog training at its finest. Okay, I've had her on leash for a second. I'm gonna take the leash off now because I'm gonna give her my undivided attention, as she deserves. And we're gonna work on teaching her to leave shoes alone specifically. It's also a really great way to practice a real life leave it or something leading up to a real life leave it. Because you don't just wanna practice leave it with teaching your dog to leave a treat alone all the time. They need to learn how to leave a shoe alone all the time. Ideally, you don't wait for your dog to start chewing a shoe. It's ideal to be a step ahead of them. So sit. She likes lie down. I'm gonna encourage her to go into that down and we'll do leave it. Look at me. Here. Good job. And so this isn't exactly teaching her not to chew, but it is saying, hey, this is an item that I like to maintain control of and dictate how you behave around. So let's have a zoomed in lesson here. Leave it alone. Here. Yes. I know Kona can do a little bit better than this, so let me take a step back here and get her more warmed up by leaving a treat alone. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Good job. Hey, what's this? Yes. And let's give it a little motion, make it exciting. It's a really good way to practice impulse control. You, Kona. Leave it. All right, so good job. So while it's obviously important to prevent unwanted chewing as much as possible, it's also really good to be proactive about it and show them, hey, look, here's something that I want you to leave alone on a regular basis. Hey, Kona, this is the last chew you're ever gonna chew, right? I think she's looking for the other one. Kona! It's time to feed Kona, and it's also time to get this jumping under control. Kona is not going to be a small dog. Kona is probably going to be about 65 or more pounds full grown. So you can see how if jumping gets out of control, that's going to be an issue. So Kona gets really excited at mealtime. She loves to eat. But this is one of the best times to really show your dog how to have manners and to behave acceptably. So the bottom line here is that you want your dog doing something completely incompatible with jumping. In this case, it's having all 4 feet on the ground. Good girl. And then encouraging her to stay there. Now, just to be really extra clear with our communication, we'll go ahead and say, okay, go on. And let her know that she can now get up and proceed there. And I admit, sometimes it can be difficult to remember to stop and think and ask your dog to do something incompatible with jumping because puppies are really good at seeking attention. This is a great way to get at least 5 minutes worth of training in before you give them their meal. It'll go a long way towards teaching them really practical skills. This is a great way to use a portion of their meal or their entire meal as a reward. Good girl, yes. So I'm just gonna have her sit there, but when she jumps, there is a consequence here. She's not getting her food, so I'm gonna wait for her to try to figure that out organically. We'll see if she does. Now, if I wanted to, I could switch gears and we could teach her how to put paws up like this, which is great for pictures, but we'll save that. Yes, good. Right now, I'm just looking for calm behavior. And as long as she's holding that position, I can give her a piece of her food. At first, in rapid succession, over time, adding more time between the intervals of giving her food. Yes. Good. So this is one way that you can really start to address unwanted jumping by waiting it out. She already knows sit, she knows down, because we've been working on those things, so she has figured out when I do those things, I tend to get what I want. Yes. Another amazing thing to practice at mealtime is preventing resource guarding. Resource guarding is basically where a dog attempts to protect something they value in a way that we don't find acceptable, usually in the form of snapping or biting us. So far, just simply the act of hand feeding Kona like this has been going a long way towards preventing resource guarding. And that's to really teach her this basic concept of, hey, when people are around, very often they're giving her food right out of their hands, even with her food bowl nearby. See, Kona is the type of eater that when she goes to eat, she inhales her food. I mean, she would be through this in less than 8 seconds if I just put this down. So she's getting a little impatient here. Sit. Good girl. Nice work. Another great thing to do is to add something they love even more than their meal, to ingrain this concept that when people come up, sometimes they get something even better than what they already have. So let's see what happens here. Let me just get her attention on that, letting her know this is good. Here, let's see. Hey, Kona, what's this? What's this? Good. You might want to consider using a good dog treat, or you might want to let them know you've got some real meat. I had to really throw a good bit of meat out there, and so I wanted to be able to take it away there, and then also give it right back to her, so she learns, hey, what's that? Sometimes I take it away. Sometimes I give it to you. Sometimes you even get something really good, like real meat or a great treat. And we're flowing now. I wonder if we've discovered something here. It kind of worked out that she spilled her food because it's kind of stalling her out and taking more time for her to look for the food, so it's making the exercise quite easier. It's interesting. I mean, this is obviously her first time doing this exercise, but I'm confident that if we repeated this over and over, I really feel confident that she would really understand the concept of, okay, I'll let you take my food. I'll wait for you to give it back. And do remember, if at any point your dog shows that they're becoming more protective of something, focus on taking a step back and de-escalating the situation and make them feel more at ease by offering something that's more valuable than the thing they're guarding. I actually walked through that example and many others in my book, Guide to a Well-Behaved Dog. If you'd like having a written guide, I'll have a link in the description. Now, in general, we've had a really strong emphasis on managing her to make sure she doesn't chew things. I've also been giving her various chews, like we have these tendons right here. This is a beef stick from our Super Chewer box right here. She loves these, and she'll just go to town on them. It's also really a good way to get her to go in her crate voluntarily and spend some time. So, I mean, look at this. Okay, she's gotten away. That didn't go as planned. In the event she snaps, I don't want to create an instance of that, so we'll trick her there and give her a treat, and I got it back. How about that? But anyway, you can use a chew like this. See how she's just going in there? She's like, whoa, when I go in there, I get my chew. Perfect. So I'm going to toss it back there. Let her go check it out. You can see that I can easily close it there, and she's content. So not only does this give her her satisfaction and her outlet to chew something, it also creates a pleasant association with being in the crate. Don't underestimate the power of quality chews for a teething puppy. I mean, say your dog is chewing something right here, and for whatever reason, you want to be able to go and take it away. Rather than risk triggering a puppy by taking something away, because it's a really natural thing for a puppy to want to protect what they have, giving them something of value and distracting them while you pick it up is a really good way to safely get it away from them. And then look, I'm gonna give it right back to her. She realizes retrospectively, you took it, but you still gave it back. Good girl. Yes, nice job. Let me update you on her separation anxiety. That has been by far her biggest issue that we've been trying to make progress on. But last night we finally did it. I was able to get about 7 hours sleep, which I will take, that's great. She got up pretty early, but I was happy that she slept for so long. So it was actually night 6, longer than I expected. I thought I would have been able to get there by night 3. So that just goes to show every dog is different. It's impossible to completely predict. But the bottom line is that it has been steadily trending in that direction. I don't know that we're completely out of the woods yet, of course, so we'll see how it goes tonight, but I have my fingers crossed. I feel like it's probably gonna go well, but I've been wrong before, so we'll find out. So let me go over with you what I've been doing to make sure that her separation anxiety is put into check and that she's really comfortable at all times. Well, as close to all times as possible. So during the day, she'll have plenty of play sessions like this with inertia. We'll do some miscellaneous training, some fetch training, things that really get her satisfied mentally and physically. And then when I can tell she's tired and when she kind of goes into that natural settle, I'll make sure that she takes all of her naps at this point in the crate. So that allows her to get plenty of experience being in the crate while being in a relaxed state. So it really comes down to optimizing the amount of time that your dog is in the crate at their most content. So in other words, if you can get like an hour here or 2 hours there where they're taking an extended nap during the middle of the day and they're spending it in the crate, they're much more likely to be accepting of it. So far, either Bree or me has been home with Kona at all times, but what we have been doing is leaving her alone for very tiny periods of time, actually. Maybe it's to check the mail or leave the room for whatever reason for a second. And so she's been starting to do better, because at first it was like, hey, the second you walk out, she's like, don't go, don't go. And now she's like, all right, I guess I can deal with you being gone for a few minutes. So we've been making a lot of progress there as well. And this, I think, is really going to help ease her into being alone and being a lot more comfortable while being alone. So we're gonna see how she does tonight. I feel like if I can get like 3 good nights in a row, I might be optimistic, but that's what I'm hoping for. And while I want to continue to have Kona spending time in her crate, especially when she's in that relaxed frame of mind, ultimately I also want to look for opportunities to give her experiences outside of the crate while relaxing and being good. She just went into this beautiful natural settle outside of her crate. This is ultimately where we want our dogs to behave. And I'm working up to being able to take her leash off here. But we have been giving her some freedom to walk around under really strict supervision. But since we had to have a business meeting right now, we decided to put her on leash and let her zone out. And it's working. This is more of what a real world beginner settle looks like with a puppy. This is what you're striving for. This is a beautiful behavior to bring about upon request with your dog. You can imagine why, especially if they're energetic, curious, and hyperactive. But she's had plenty of training and exercise today, so I know she must be in a very good place right now. I think she must be satisfied. It's been at least 30 minutes now.
Let's see what happens if we take the leash off.
And there we have it, an actual, authentic, off-leash settle. These are the things that we dog trainers get really excited about. Okay, even if she doesn't technically realize she's off-leash right now, I'm still gonna call this a victory. So we're gonna do one more potty break. We're about to go to bed. Good girl. Nice job, girl. She's really good about going pee like the moment you let her out. So that's good. Okay guys, come on, let's go. Kona, here she goes. All right, time for bed, guys. It is time to put her to bed right now. She's chilling, she's quiet. I wanna give you a shot of her just so you can see. Hopefully I don't upset her too much to where she's like, oh gosh, I just realized you're going to bed. All right, so you can see I've got Furbo camera set up right there so I can easily monitor her. Let's see if she... Relax, settle. Good job, girl. Okay, good night. Fingers crossed, she does well tonight. Can we get 2 nights in a row? Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs and we'll see how she does. So far, she's being so good. All right, I've made it to the top of the stairs now. Still quiet. This is good. This is a big moment. We've been working hard for this. I think we might be good for the night. I don't know, it's too early. Okay, thought we were gonna make it, but Kona was a good girl. She was a little whiny a little while ago. I think she may have to go pee, so we're gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Come on, let's go. Let's go. It's about 1 a.m. in the morning. Good girl. She looks like she had to go. Looks like she also wanted some water. All right. I'm gonna probably wait for her to relax. Okay, she seems quiet. Just making sure. Okay, now I'm going to try to make it upstairs again. 6:33 a.m. And looks like she's all right. She's had a pretty good night. We're gonna let her out to go potty. Well, good morning. I think that Kona did a great job last night. I mean, she had the one episode where she's like, you know, I want to go out or I want to drink some water. So that's the give and take. You have to make those judgment calls. But much, much improved. So very proud of her. She's learning how to be alone. She's learning how to be more independent. And those are great skills for a new dog to acquire. Get a free Super Chewer box or Bark box or both when you sign up for a 6 or 12-month subscription. I'll have the links below. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and get a copy of my book, Guide to a Well-Behaved Dog, for all of my advice in one easy place. We're nearly a third of the way through Kona's 3 weeks, and it's time to take things to the next level. I can't wait to see all of you in episode 7.